Hello, 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 fellow walkers. So, here we are again. I guess today it's goodbye for Zendikar Rising, since Kaladesh is just few steps away down the road. I think next weekend we already have it available on MTG Arena, at least for sealed, I guess. Not really sure how it works at the start of the draft. But yeah, still of a set, I mean. But yeah, today we have another draft of Zendikar Rising. We'll also be doing something before anything else, which is review a few of the learning resources that I use personally on not a daily basis, but very regularly, I would say. So yeah, that's the goal for today. If you don't know me, if it's your first time around, I'm Diogo, and I'm on this journey of improving in Magic and in life, and I'm essentially inviting anyone interested in joining the journey, in sharing knowledge, in discussing Magic and life strategy along the way. I think that's really valuable, and streaming provides a really nice platform for doing that. You can find me elsewhere also when I'm not online on Twitch, like on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube. You can find the links on my About section on Twitch and on the socials. Socials command, because Nightbot is awake. Cool. So yeah, that's the plan for today. So let's start with reviewing the learning resources. Okay, so and here we are. So I made this very simple spreadsheet. I've been working on spreadsheets all week on preparing for the Kaldheim release, like reviewing cards and all of that. I have a spreadsheet that I'm trying to finish and release during the week, but let's see how it goes. Let me actually just open it up so that I can show you very quickly. Let us see. Hey AG Magic, welcome man, welcome. How are you doing? How are you doing? You arrived just in time before we start. So this spreadsheet is a bit heavy. This is, but by the way, AG Magic, this is the stream has disconnected. What the hell? Okay, I guess I'm reconnected. I guess so. I guess it's working. So yeah, AG Magic, I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. I still have a bit of cough from COVID, but I'm recovering just alright. Thank you. So yeah, the plan for today. Oh, again. Okay, I think we're back. Sorry about that. I don't know what the hell is happening with my internet. I guess all my neighbors are at home, so yeah, they're eating away my bandwidth, I guess. Okay, maybe I won't show this. So it's really weird, but either way, I hope it's working now. I'm not really sure what was going on. Just had Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I don't know what is going on with Twitch, but I hope everything is to work properly from here onwards. Either way, what we have today, as I was saying previously, is we'll review this small spreadsheet on the learning resources that I use on a regular basis, and yeah, I hope it is useful for you in any way. I'll also share the link after that. My plan is just to go over each item one by one. I have around 23 entries, and I'll discuss just briefly what each of them are actually. So as you probably know by now, I'm typically playing limited. That's my favorite format right now. I'm not opposed to playing constructed for sure, but I don't have that much practice in those realms. But yeah, so limited resources. It's the most mythical, classical podcast on the topic for sure. And right now it is hosted by Marshall Sutcliffe and Luis Scott Vargas. It's pretty funny. Sometimes they it's a lightweight content but easy to follow. They also put the videos on YouTube. That's actually where I typically consume their content. But you can also add it on your podcast app and stuff. You can find it everywhere. A more recent one is Constructed Resources. This one is hosted by BK and Luis Scott Vargas. That guy is everywhere. I don't know what kind of schedules he has, but he probably works like crazy. But yeah, but he enjoys it. So it's basically a version of limited resources for constructed. In a way, they're typically discussing what card was banned in the previous week. I'm just kidding, but for a few weeks we haven't seen cards banned in standard, but at some point it was like every single week or close to it. So but other than that, they also focus on some level ups. Again, they don't have videos accompanying the podcast, but there will be a ban next week on standard. Are you predicting something like from Kaldheim already? Just like a ban before a release? But yeah, maybe I'm not following constructed that closely. But yeah, it's a cool resource. I've been listening to every episode from them. So yeah, I definitely advise. New broken card already. Which one, by the way? I've seen the full spoilers. I might. I'm not sure if you're targeting a specific card already. So yeah, constructed the resources. That's that for you. Still regarding limited, I have 3 more podcasts that are very, very interesting. First, Lords of Limited. They provide like a fresher take on limited. They're younger. They're less influenced by what typically people take for granted. Oh, yeah, I understand that, AG Magic. Yeah, that makes sense. It's like the 4 mana, the Omnath. It was just absurd. They just tried to. To push a few more to sell a few more packs, and that's it. Let me just lower a bit down the music for me. Okay, that works. So yeah, Lords of Limited, both Ethan and Ben are very, very knowledgeable on limited, and they've been providing some really interesting articles and podcasts, to be honest. There are a few that I can point out later if interested, but I guess I actually have them under paid content, I think. Okay, 150. Yeah, so synergy theory, diagram of a draft. These 2 articles are very cool. They're paid, but we'll discuss that a bit later down the road. Other than Lords of Limited, Drafting Archetypes is a very recent archetype. Is a very recent podcast. I was reading and talking at the same time. My brain doesn't work really well with that, even though I'm streaming, so go figure. So yeah, Drafting Archetype, a podcast by Samuel H. Black, which is really interesting because it's dense and it's deep on strategy. It's really it was like it was really interesting. It showed up by the end of the life cycle of Zendikar Rising, but it provides really an interesting take on how to address limited from a more synergy global picture point of view, but going very in depth into which cards, which picks, which reasons. So yeah, definitely a worthy podcast to take a look and to follow. He actually presents it live on Twitch on his channel, and there's a YouTube channel with some editing on top of the podcast, of the video recording itself. And lastly, regarding podcasts, there's Limited Level Ups. Right now, this is hosted by Alex Nikolic, or Cordo Calls, and there have been some interesting interviews lately. I don't follow these podcasts as closely as others, but there's some interesting content coming out from there. Alex himself is a very good limited player, very knowledgeable, and the interviews have been featuring some interesting people. So I can truly advise you to take a look at that. Channel Fireball. So this is this basically everyone that plays Magic knows about Channel Fireball. It's like it's a very varied source of content. There are articles, there are sideboard guides, there are budget brews, videos, Jesus, you name it, they have it. But more specifically, I wanted to talk a bit about CFB Pro. So I'm not sponsored in any way, and that's not something for now. But what I've actually I'm a subscriber of CFB Pro for a few months already, like 9 months or something, and the quality of the content they've been pushing, it's really cool. Yeah, I was just about to discuss that. I don't want to like show actual articles and the draft guides or anything like that on the stream, because it's paid content and they're doing a nice work. I don't want to open up a loophole on that and get myself into trouble, let's say. But their CFB Pro content is really cool, and there are some highlights that I have. One of them, it's the deep dive articles that's all the pros from the CFP team have been writing on mulliganing. I actually provide the links on this other spreadsheet that you can find via the command articles command. There are a bunch of deep dives on mulligans, like 2 parts, highly in depth, and everyone contributes. There are some very good ones on limited from the guys on limited resource on Lords of Limited and Limited Level Ups. So articles are very good. There are also the deck guides on they have like the deck vault, and they store and they persist like a ranking of the top decks on each format, and for each of them, the top ones, they provide like a deck guide with sideboard strategy and all of that. On top of that, and I don't really take that much advantage of this fact, but people in the US can benefit from it more. If you subscribe for $10 a month or $100 a year, I believe, you get the money back in store credit. So altogether, I find it a very good deal given the quality of the content, and you can do it like I did. I started by subscribing on a monthly basis, just seeing if it's worth it or not, and then I actually renewed with an annual subscription, because they did a very big push of content like a few weeks ago on deep dives from virtually everyone on their team. So I cannot recommend it more, truly. And if you have specific questions about it, feel free to reach out to me. Not that I know how to answer all of them, but yeah, I can probably help. Then we have MTG Goldfish. This is also a website or content source that has been part of the ecosystem for a while. There are essentially two things that I use the most in there. One of them, it's the metagame breakdown. There's a bunch of decks with a bunch of tournament results, which ones won each tournament and so on. And there's and also the Budget Magic series. I love the decks that Saffron Olive builds in there. Well, some of them are taken from somewhere else or adapted or whatever, but still, it's a very interesting series, and I love trying out those decks. He actually has been trying to push from time to time, like, Budget from the perspective of Arena, since Arena's economy is mostly driven by wild cards, and the focus is on having the fewest rare and mythic cards in there. Then we have the awesome player Ben Stark, who is streaming on Twitch regularly, relatively regularly. Yeah, I do too, AG Magic. I do too. I've been reading a few interesting articles on systems like Dusting, like I guess what Hearthstone has, but there are definitely a few ideas on how to fix it. But the issue is that like Wizards is trying to win as much money from digital assets that are not tradable as they are harnessing with paper Magic, and that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make any sense. They're like everyone that starts with a game like Hearthstone or even the newer games like Runes of the Legends of Runeterra and so on. If they try Arena's economy, they will like drop they will drop the game like the same day they try it, because it's simply absurd. It's not on playing on the same field. It's just capitalizing on the existing player base. Sometimes there's very little interest for free to play gamers. They really need to be playing the game with shitty decks for the majority of time. So yeah, I really don't like it. As for myself, I don't spend that much on Arena, since I mostly draft, and at some point you just you lose some money, but you sort of keep yourself afloat with your wins, with your average win to loss ratio. So I end up filling a bit my collection, while also learning how to draft, so learning how to deck build and everything great that drafts has. So that's a way to deal with that. Regarding Ben Stark, he's a very well-known limited player. He's very, very good at explaining his thought process, and he doesn't really follow the earth. He tries to think with his own head and come out with his own theories and try things out. He doesn't he doesn't pay attention to spoiler season or anything like that. He really tries to get to know stuff by playing the cards. Hey Mitch, welcome Mitch. Thank you for joining. So I mainly play constructed. Yeah, that's the thing, AG Magic. You should try to play a bit more limited. I guess you'll find it very interesting. So yeah. So by the way, Mitch, what we're doing today is, or before we draft, we are reviewing a set of resources that I use on a regular basis to learn stuff about Magic, to level myself up. Okay, so Ben Stark, he is on YouTube. That's where I typically follow his content, because it enables me to stop the video, try to think what would I do on a given situation, and then see how it compares with Ben's rationale. Then we have Nikachu. This is a different entry on this list, and he is well known as the Merfolk Master. But the thing about Nikachu is very knowledgeable on Modern, and he creates a bunch of Modern centric content. And why did I start following Nikachu closely? Basically, on my local game store, even though I only played for a little while due to all the pandemic craze, there's a bunch of Modern and Pioneer tournaments happening. Yeah, is exactly. So he breaks down Modern like no one. It's really interesting, and it not only provides a perspective on how to play Merfolk, right? But he also studies a lot what's going on with the rest of the metagame. He goes in depth with the competing decks and what are they trying to do, how can one beat them. So I actually built a paper Merfolk deck to take advantage of his content and try to match my expectations and my learning experience with what he does. So it's a very good learning platform for Constructed, I believe. So yeah, I cannot really advise you more to take a look into Nikachu's content. Then we have Nikolai Bolas. I don't follow Nikolai Bolas that closely. He does some streams. He has been pushing a bunch of YouTube only content lately. But he's also someone that explains his thought process, what's going on during the draft, what's his rationale for a given pick, for a given play. So it's definitely an interesting content creator to follow. Then we have, of course, and this is down the list, but it should be on top most likely, the Tolarian Community College. The professor, who's the one that creates the videos and the main protagonist for this channel, he has done so much for the game, and he has been pushing. He's being very. He criticizes a lot what Wizards does well and does wrongly. So he's a very vocal person. He has a major role, I feel, in the community on pushing the game towards a good direction. And so yeah, he truly deserves everyone's support. And there's Tolarian Tutor, if you're interested, the playlist from him that might be interesting for you to follow if you're interested in some level up content from there. There's also a bunch of Commander stuff going on there and on MTG Goldfish, even though I actually don't play that much Commander, or I don't think I ever played a game of Commander, so either way, there's a lot of people interested in the format, so I guess that there's also something there for you. Then we have Strictly Better MTG. I've not been following this channel that closely, to be honest, but Dev pushes a lot of content regarding some interesting builds and putting them, and he actually puts them to the test and tries to improve them. So it's an interesting source to be on the lookout for new ideas for decks, and for if you're bored with what you're playing, this is also an interesting source for deck ideas. Then we have a big one, and I truly mean a big one, because I was really happy when I found this. It's Bookco is essentially an app that you install on your phone, and besides a lot of other features that are built into the app, you have a news feed, and the news feed is very, 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 very useful. You get notified every time a given channel puts some content in. You can actually tweak those notifications, and I actually provided you here the list of sources that I'm currently following in there, if you are interested in taking a look. So Bookco is there are other sources for content like Twitter and so on, but Bookco is one of the main sources for me that I follow on a daily basis, for sure. I'm not sure if it... I think so. Let me just open up the link and take a look. Redirecting. Android, iOS, Windows 10. So it is, or at least it seems to be, on Apple. So yeah, Bookco. That is it. The only other app that I actually use is MTG Familiar. It's like a Swiss Army knife for MTG players, but other than that, it actually has a search function, a card search functionality that I use quite regularly when I'm on the go and I want to look up for a given card. Talking about search engines for Magic, there's Scryfall, which is by far the most widely known, I guess, and more featured search engine for MTG cards. It has a bunch of like special commands that you can use for looking, for example, for cards that are either red or white that say something like enchantment on their text. You can do some complex search queries in there that are truly powerful. Actually, on the limited spreadsheet that I'm building, I use their API since it's so easy to use. You just you can retrieve all the information from in a programmatic friendly way, or a machine readable format. That's the best way to put it. With just like part of the name or something like that. So it's very useful. You should have this resource at hand whenever you're looking for your MTG cards. If you're looking, for example, to brew something around equipment, as we were discussing previously, you can very easily say, okay, so this should be standard legal equipment, whatever. Say equipment on the text, stuff like that, you know. So definitely useful. Then there's Draft Sim. This is one of those that I don't use that much, but there are some resources, some content pushed in there that are that are interesting to take a look at. One of the article that I was mentioning regarding dusting comes from there. So yeah, it's just something you might be interested in taking a look. They also have some MTGA specialized content. They have like a page where they are constantly updating with the newest store codes for Magic Arena. So something to keep in mind. We also have MTG Melee. This is also a resource that I haven't used that much, but it's basically good for two things. So there, it's probably the most widely known hub for online Magic tournaments, either on Arena or Magic Online. Both the Star City Games satellite events happen there. Also there's the the CFB Pro Showdown or whatever they call in there. Oh, cool, AG Magic. I signed up for a tournament in there, but I had to drop it because of COVID. It was during the worst weekend of the disease. But will it still happen? It's still going to happen, right? Your tournament. So yeah, other than tournaments, there's also the Arena statistics from these tournaments. Since these tournaments are relatively high profile, typically, they are able to harness a lot of interesting statistics around what's the meta game, what's the win rates, what's being played, what are the sideboards, whatever. Next weekend, cool. Oh, if we don't talk until then, which is highly unlikely, good luck for that. Good luck. So other than that, there's MTG Data, which is right now it's mostly a profile on Twitter. They update a series of high quality reports in there around metagame too. So it's typically fed by the MTG Melee website. So it's definitely interesting. Then there's Spikes Academy. This is something that it highly depends on who's taking the course. So essentially, it is said to be more advanced. It's like you should know your way around Magic by the time you do these courses to take full advantage of them. Not saying that I already take full advantage of them. There's a lot of stuff in there that I'm still not applying, and I should. But it's a learning process, right? But the thing about Spikes Academy is the prices are a bit steep, I would say. So it's not for everyone. The content that you find in there, you can find it elsewhere, okay, in one way or another, typically. I cannot really imagine something that is very specific for that. True, AG Magic. I should add that. Let me actually take note of that. So VDD YouTube channel on learning resources. That is definitely true. I watched all the videos that he put up to now. Thank you. I've watched all of them, and they're really interesting, and they're quick ones. They go in depth. I really enjoyed the one that he goes over a Gruul match. It's really insightful to see how the high level strategy actually translates into low level gameplay decisions, right? So yeah, Paulo Vitor is a very awesome player. He also has probably the most well-known course on Spikes Academy, and I did two courses in there: the Magic Strategy by him and the Limited course by Ben Stark. Both of them are really good, are really interesting. But it really depends. If you have a spare bucks, you can like subscribe for one of them and try it out. I actually took advantage of some Spikes Academy discounts that they were having during Christmas or around Christmas time. So it's something to take a look at. Yeah, the sideboard video was also very good indeed. That guy is so smart and so insightful. I was actually reading an article that I will probably review next Sunday, so next week, from him on 8. I believe that the title is something like 8 biases that you should try to avoid or something like that. It's simple language, easy to understand, but something that I was not considering as much, you know, and some things are really, I keep on saying this word, but are really insightful because they cross-reference and they bring concepts from psychology, from game theory and whatever, into a single common plane of reasoning. That guy is very good. And so yeah, if you have some spare bucks and you want to try, keep a close eye on whatever promotions and sales Spikes Academy might have. If you don't find a sale in there, I wouldn't advise on purchasing the courses. They're still very good. Again, I don't want to disincentivize anyone, but it's a bit pricey. They also changed ownership, so probably there is stuff coming on. Yeah, the free one is like a collection of several other courses, some videos from each of them. It's also a cool way to get a sense of what's going on. I can tell you that during the courses there's also some exercises. In some situations there are links for other videos of actual tournaments and actual decisions that happened. So yeah, and the content is relatively well structured, I would say. So yeah. Now, regarding MTGA trackers, I essentially use 2 of them. So 17 lands, you probably already saw me looking into the draft logs. The draft logs after we do a draft, so it's basically a must-have for limited players. Seeing what wheeled and what reviewing what did not wheel from a pack. It's really valuable. They recently they added a gameplay replay feature. It's also still being developed, but it can also be really helpful. And lastly, they also provide a bunch of statistics on what cards are defining or have the highest win rate. In a way, there are several different perspectives on how to look into that. If you're a data nerd guy, you'll love this. And what archetypes are doing, what are the best, what are the worst, and so on. All gathered from a crowdsourced base of knowledge. You know, everyone that has the tracker installed is contributing towards that base of knowledge. And then the other one that I use typically is Cardboard Live. It's basically the it's specifically for streaming. You know, it essentially also tracks the logs from MTG Arena and hey, Expandemics. Thank you for following. Thank you for following. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. At least you didn't facilitate my life in there. Oh, you actually got a... I'm not sure if the blue one is the shiny mage. I'm really not sure. Oh, no worries, no worries. Thank you for following it. You're always welcome, you know. So yeah, Cardboard Live again. It also feeds itself with draft logs, and it populates a widget on Twitch whenever I'm streaming. At least I hope it's working. And then there are two others that I also have installed. I also have running, but I don't use that often, which are MTG Assistant and untap.gg. Both of them provide like deck tracker functionality and several other things. I know that MTGA Assistant also has a focus on helping you manage your collection, you know, and while optimizing your wildcards usage when building new decks. What kind of decks are you closer to build? So that is actually pretty helpful, I believe. And so, yeah, untap.gg, there's also some in-draft help that it provides, but yeah, it's still stuff that I don't use that often. So there you go. I guess these are the main resources that I've been using as of late. I still need to add the AG Magic's suggestion of Paulo Vitor YouTube channel. And either way, you can already access it, and I'll be updating it if there are any updates. You can access it via the command learning, I believe. Okay, you can find a curated set of learning resources. Okay, it's working. So there you go. There's the list that we were reviewing, and you can do whatever you want with it. Okay. Let me actually hide sheet. Okay. But no hangover. Damn. So yeah. That was it for the intro for today. Next week, or probably even on Thursday, I hope to review the archetypes on Kaldheim in preparation for drafting in the coming weekend. But let us see how it goes. Let us see how it goes. So, without further ado, let's actually start our draft. Yes, I want to spend my coins. Let us see if we find any Zendikar Rising players. Since the format is dying, well, it's just normal that there are fewer people playing. If it takes too much, I might actually play Constructed today, just because, but that's not the plan. That's not the plan. Oh, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. I actually, right now I'm just pushing the recordings of my streams in there, but I probably down the road, as things grow, I'll create some specific content in there, like these learning resources that I was discussing. I actually want to put a video in there with some more details and like the top 5 on each category or something. But that's later. Right now, I want to improve as a player as much as possible. So I guess we have a draft today. We managed to find people. Okay. Oh Jesus, this is a good start. So today I'm hoping for an easy draft because I have a light headache and I don't want to push my brain that much. But still, we open up a bomb. Felidar Retreat. It's a card that I'm really happy to pick. If we find some nice ways to put multiple lands on the battlefield on the same turn and some landfall synergies, it's cool. But still, that deck is not the best ever, so this card can find its place in multiple different decks. Other than that, Black Bloom Rogue would also be a nice first pick from this pack. Then we have Deadly Alliance, Malakir Blood Priest, so a bunch of black cards, of interesting black cards, I would say, in this pack. Antazim Royal Mage is also a nice blue card, so yeah, it's pretty well supported. It will be interesting to see what wheels, actually. Oh, I guess another awesome landfall card, for sure. I'll pick it. I'll pick Fearless Fledgling. It's not that is... So, Relic Vial can be bunkers if you have enough clerics in your deck, because you'll be draining the opponent so many times, and you just need to control a cleric, okay? You can sacrifice any creature, so this is actually a card that also works well in white-blue party, for example, because you typically have one cleric in there, because there are so many in white and a couple in blue. So Veteran Adventurer is also nice, but not the best thing ever. Deadly Alliance, one could argue on picking a Deadly Alliance instead of Fearless Fledgling, but between these two cards, I'm more likely to actually force white than to split my attention span with black right now. So Maddening Cacophony can help us win some games. It's kind of a weird card. But if we're able to recycle it with some additional blue cards, it can help. It can do some stuff. Still, I don't think I will play it, to be honest. Among every card that there is in this pack, I think Zoph's Consumption is the pick. There are some red cards that play well, like Grotag Bug-Catcher, but this is more of an aggro card that. It actually works best on black-red party. Zoph Consumption, black is a nice complement for white. Not that it works very well with the kind of cards that we've been picking, but other than that, there's not really much to brag about in that pack. In this pack, we have a few options. Right, Expedition Champion can do some stuff on a Warriors deck, but I'm looking into Nimble Trap Finder as our pick from this pack. This can be quite powerful. You don't need full party for this to be useful. You just need to have a party type entering the battlefield for it to be unblockable, you know. So it's a very, very powerful card. Other than that, Prowling Felidar is another 4-drop. I don't want to pile up on those that early. I can pick these kind of cards later, I believe. And blue is a nice complement to these kind of cards, I guess. Okay. So we have some decisions to make. Balagad Recovery, so green works well with both of the cards that we picked, right? So Balagad Recovery could be an option if we want to explore the space of options that we have available. Field Research is also it's a very interesting pick, okay? And we already have a Nimble Trap Finder, which we are interested in picking. This is a card draw effect that can help us find lands to pump our Fearless Fledgling and Felidar Retreat. It has like 2 modes of activation, which can be quite helpful for our deck. So Field Research is an interesting card in this deck. So given how the draft is going, so this is a very good red card. I'm not really incentivized to pick up the Thundering Spark Mage right now, just because it doesn't. I didn't pick any red until now. I'm more interested in picking a Seafloor Stalker. We're seeing blue, we're seeing white, so That seems to be an interesting combination. We'll also see what wheels in a few moments. So that might be interesting. Let us see. So Zoff consumption, we're not seeing interesting black. We will see what wheels, but I guess that not that much. I guess I need to start picking some filler cards, filler level cards. Expedition Healer is not bad at all. We will likely find ourselves with a few more clerics in our deck. But other than that, I know Zoff consumption is stronger but in terms of power level, but still, it's not the best thing ever. Out of all these cards, Zulaport Duelist can be an interesting rogue in this deck. We already have two rogues actually, so I won't prioritize Zulaport Duelist right now. We have a few rogues already. Tazim Raptor I know this card is not that strong, but it can help us pump or help us improve the quality of Validar Retreat and Fearless Fledgling, which are two of our strongest cards in this deck. So there were a bunch of black cards in this pack. I guess the strongest ones were taken. I think I'll pick a wizard. I'm not looking towards playing these cascades here, but it is fine. It scries a bit, so it filters a bit the draws. That is fine. We're seeing some green. It's still possible for us to fall into green. Let's say that we open a very strong bomb in green. I'm happy to have a Turn Timber aesthetic. We won't have that many wizards, so this card is not good for our purposes. We're playing best of one, so no Broken Wings really. Seagate Colossus might get played in a deck like this. And we're seeing some late green. Not that Joraga Visionary is the best thing ever, but it can do some work. Let me tell you what, this Kazando Nectar Pod, I've won games because of this card, just because it delayed my opponent long enough. It gained me so much life that I actually ended up winning the game at some point. So I think people underestimate the power of this card, and there's a bunch of X1s floating around. So Luminarch Aspirant, this is actually the card with the highest win rate impact as measured on 17 lands. Excuse me. So it's a very interesting pick. I would be ecstatic to have like Expedition Diviner Wheeling, for example, McKinley Stampede to a lesser extent, but it's still possible. Don't get me wrong. So yeah, I think there's no question about it, about this pick. Okay. So Midge, how are you? So, Windrider Wizard, how are we on wizards? Not that well, I would believe. We only have these cascades here on our sideboard. Instant or sorcery or wizard, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. It's still a powerful card, to be honest. I don't want to dilute my party types more than I already have. Elsa's actually asleep. But let's see if she joins us for this draft. Oh, it picked the card. Okay, sure. Royal Eruption. This is really tempting. Even more when you have the pretty card layout. Okay, forget it. Out of this pack, what do we have? I'm not really incentivized to be playing green right now, to be honest. So we have... I'm honestly inclined to pick a Cliffhaven Sellsword. This is actually a nice card to hold the opponent from attacking, because they won't they don't want to be trading their 3-drop, 4-drop, or whatever by a 2-drop, 3-1. It's not only effective on attacking and pushing and forcing trades, but it's also effective on blocking. You just want to see huge stuff, right? Floating around. No, I already have a few expensive creatures, but I will likely have to pick a few additional ones. So we already have an Expedition Healer. The second one works well with the first. Other than that, there are not really that interesting cards for us. Bayan Veil, I guess. It's a card that we could pick. It doesn't help our party types, but it's still okay. Let's pick the cleric. Whatever. We need to prioritize first having some party types balanced on our deck, and then we'll pick the MDFCs, the rest of the MDFCs. Into the Royal is a very nice pick. I'm happy to have these get to me in pick 5 in this direction. So this is likely an int that I Royal is always good in a draft. Whatever deck you want to put it in, it will fit just nicely. Okay, now we have an interesting choice to make. So somewhat interesting. It's between Sagiris Shelter and Seafloor Stalker. This Shatterskull Minotaur is quite strong, but we're nowhere near red. But still, I'm happy to be seeing these kind of cards this late. It's a very good sign. The second copy of Seafloor Stalker goes down in value, to be honest. And this gives us protection from whatever color. Generally speaking, people down value Seafloor Stalker, so we might still pick an additional one. How come red is so open from this side? How come? How did I let this happen? I'm really not sure, but it's something to Oh, it was awesome, it was awesome. Let me just see what pick I'll make. I guess Skycliffe Squid as an early play to also hold off my opponent from attacking. But a lot of red cards that we will want to try to understand what happened here. So Tazim Royal Mage disincentivizes me to pick good spells, good instants or sorceries. Into the Royal is definitely one. But there are others, like Field Research is also an interesting payoff for having a Tazim Royal Mage on my deck. So yeah. Yeah, they're really good. And actually let the... I condimented the Satan in the morning very early, so it was really tasty by the time we ate it. It's... to be honest, I enjoy more the ones that we do at home than the ones that we eat at the restaurant. Okay, so sideboard card, not really a card. Seagate Banneret can do some stuff later, I guess. So yeah, there's no need to. Oh, the sound. Where's the music? Okay, now we have music back. Oh, what did I pick? I don't know what I picked. Either way, we are swimming in playables. Okay. Okay. A lot of interesting cards here. So, Muraza Rootgrazer, it's not really a reason to be splashing, I guess, but it works so well with two of our finishers. The Fearless Fledgling, and the other, the Felidar Retreat. Still, I guess that with the Luminarch Aspirant and all that stuff, early plays are really good. Myriad Construct is also a very good card, and I guess it might actually be the pick here. To be honest, we won't be that it won't be that easy for us to splash. We don't have that many MDFCs right now. So if we had more MDFCs, we could fit in a few of those cards. Okay. So Master of Winds is really... can be a very interesting finisher. We already have a few 4-drops. I tend towards cheaper cards a lot. I don't feel like I have a lot of wizards, so we have 2 wizards and not that many instants or sorceries, so I'm not really interested. I'll actually pick a Stonework Pack Beast out of this pack, to be honest, I think. I know this is highly debatable. That card was pretty good. Bubble Snare I'm interested in picking, so whomever is playing Kicker, having 2 Lul Mages Familiar reaching their way, they'll be happy. They'll be happy. Oh, there comes Elsa, I guess. Other than that, Skyclave Cleric is a nice cleric, but not a better card than Bubble Snare. Hello, Elsa. How are you? Have you slept well? Say hello to the stream. Hello, hello. Okay, there you go. There you go. Do I need more win conditions? I don't think so. But if I don't pick a Ruin Crab, what will I pick? Kabir Outrider, it's not really one of the kind of picks that I want to be making. Honestly, Cleric of Shield Depths can be quite good. It can be quite good in this deck. Do I pick a Ruin Crab? No, I won't pick a Ruin Crab. I'm sorry, but I'm a sucker for synergy, and I prioritize it over whatever. Merfolk Falconeer, it's all okay. This is an interesting win condition. It's a wizard. So yeah, there's not even a need to spend more time thinking in that pack. So I might pick a Shell Shield, I'm really not sure, or a Shilling Trap. Shilling Trap, not really. I'm not ecstatic about any of these cards, to be honest. Iridescent Horn Beetle, it's not that good. Cleric, another Cleric, damn. If I knew I was gonna be past the Cleric, I would pick the Crab. So, Cleric it is. I don't want a Skyclave Sentinel in this kind of deck. I already have plenty of those kind of cards. Oh, Core Celebrant, that I'm happy to pick. This is a very late... This, like, went through all the table. Of course, the person that might be drafting white, or besides me, if there's anyone, probably there is, they could have a rare or whatever, but this is a very strong white common. Very, very strong. And works well with our deck. We want to get into the late game often. No real decision here, I guess. Makindi Ox is not the kind of card that we want to be playing. Seagate Colossus, I won't play 2 of them. I already have way too many expensive cards. Hey, Yersei. Hey, how are you doing? By the way, probably I need to show you what we did, what we had for lunch. It was like probably you're familiar with francesinha, a Portuguese dish. We did a vegan version of it, so I need to share the photo with you to know if you approve, you know. Since you're the expert. Tormenting Voice, whatever, I don't care about those cards. I don't care about those cards. And 40 gems. Okay. This deck looks Very good. Very good. So. Let us see first how our party is looking. Our party count is looking, and actually, I typically Zendikar Rising, I start by looking into the mana base. We have 2 MDFCs, not that many, but still plenty, I would say. This deck, it's a deck for to play 18 lands most likely. I don't have that much need. So it's useful. I have several cards with double blue peep. In terms of white, that's not the case. I won't be playing 19 with just 2 MDFCs. I would probably have picked a bit more MDFCs to help our landfall synergies, but it is fine. So I guess I'll drop... I think I'll drop 2 plains and add an island. And let me just take a look into the statistics for the deck. 50% white, 40% blue. But we also have a bunch of early blue plays. We actually have too many 2-drops, most likely. So we'll see what we'll do. In terms of party count, 3 wizards, not that many. So warriors 5, so a bunch of warriors. Okay, we might drop a few. 2 rogues, very few, so we will likely leave them. And 2 clerics, 7 clerics. So we have a bunch of clerics, we have a bunch of warriors. Let us see. Seagate Banneret, it's not the kind of card that I really want in this deck. If I'm to pump I already have some mana sinks like Seagate Colossus as an expensive card. I guess it's not really a mana sink, but it's still very expensive. I have Seafloor Stalker. The effect of the other card is not that big, I would say. Felidar Retreat, I will keep it for sure. So we said clerics and warriors. I'll likely drop a warrior here. Just one. Seagate Colossus, I think I'll keep it since we're doing some party. Let us see how's the breakdown of this deck. So we have a bunch of creatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So let's drop way too many clerics, I would say. But I'm glad we picked this Stonework Packbeast. In terms of spells, we only have 4. Besides the MDFCs, but this counts as lands in a way. Oh, making emotes. That's cool. I'm eager to try them out, hearsay. Bubble Snare, Into the Royal, Field Research, Felidar Retreat. All of them are very good. All of them are to be played. But I'm happy to have only 4 but good spells, because I actually did this with this layout. I'm so sorry. I wanted to do this with a small webcam layout. Okay, but well, I think if it works, okay, it's working. So 4 spells. This is also good because it enables me to increase my creature count, you know. So Tazim Raptor. I'm really not sure if I will play this card. Let us see. Let us see if we find any other 2 picks that we are happy to drop. Fearless Fledgling, I want to keep. Mesalinx, I don't want that card here. Jesus. And I'll probably drop a Skycliff Squid and that's it. And this is our deck. Big Bill Bird, thank you for following. How are you doing today? Okay, G-Magic, enjoy your dinner. Enjoy your dinner. Bubble Snare. So, the plan of this deck, we have a few very powerful cards, okay, in Luminarch Aspirant, to a lesser extent Fearless Fledgling, but we also have the mythic Felidar Retreat, okay? Other than that, we're doing some party, so we also have Seafloor Stalker as a potential finisher, Seagate Colossus as a payoff of being doing party. I'm doing fine, thank you for asking. I'm feeling better by the day. Merfolk Falconeer as a well, to increase our wizards count, and it's also a payoff for some kicker spells that we have. We have like 4 or 5 kicker spells, which is already something, I guess. And yeah, and then a bunch of creatures to fill in the party, our party count, plus Stonework Packbeast, which is great. How do I remove? I never know. Okay, I removed the FPS counter, whatever. Okay, this is our deck for today. Let us do it. Let us play. I hope everyone is having a very nice Sunday. I know probably it's not that good of a weather for some of you, but still, it's a nice incentive to stay at home, I guess. Right? Waiting for the server? Okay, I guess I will exit the game and reopen it. Not sure what's happening. It's cold in there. Yeah, damn. But is it snowy or just cold? Because cold is really crappy. I hate cold. Yeah, I'm sorry for that, but it's a nice incentive to stay at home, to watch some cool streams and to stream too. So I guess, yeah, exactly. It's a wasted opportunity, right? I do agree with you, Mitch. I do agree with you. LOL. No, come on, Mitch. I already told you. I've been enjoying your streams like crazy. Well, part of it is because you're playing Final Fantasy IX, and I love that game. But the other part is you've been pushing some really funny stuff in your stream. So if you don't know already, if you don't do it already, and I still don't have this habit, but I need to develop it. So take a look into this link, because Midgeworth, so basically is the one that improved vastly my experience with Twitch, because I joined the community initiated by him, and it has been a blast knowing getting to know new people, getting a lot more people on my stream. So yeah, it's really cool. Yes, you are, Mitch. We all are awesome in our own ways. Sometimes maybe we don't believe that of ourselves, but it's truly. I've been saying it a lot, and I'll say it every single time. You've been doing an amazing work. And it will grow. It will grow. It will grow to something very, very relevant. Okay, a bit laggy. Oh, I forgot to change the view. I was gonna start playing, well, and not showing you what I was doing. So. This end definitely works for me. I don't really care. We have a very good, a reasonably interesting early game, I will keep. My opponent goes first, so if they don't do anything on the first 2 turns, I might first play Core Celebrant and then Cleric. I don't really care about attacking for 1, to be honest. So I'll play my land and pass the turn. I care more about gaining 1 life. Okay, now I need to put my creature on the battlefield. We can do some interesting stuff with the Tazim Royal Mage. Let me lower a bit the sound here. And a bit the music. The Cleric of Shield Depths, you mean? So I believe all these cards have a place. Most... Yeah. So most of these cards have a place. This card can be quite good in a deck like mine. Right now it was already good because it took a Royal Eruption out of my opponent. This creature is getting a bit worrisome. Still no blocks for now. I'll be trading a bit more life. Oh, thank God, Bubble Snare, and I don't even need to kick it. That's the awesome thing. So this turn the plan is to... Unfortunately, I don't have double blue mana, so if I Bubble Snare, I'm not able to play Seafloor Stalker or anything like that. Might I play? No. I guess I cannot really take more damage, right? It's very unfortunate that I don't have more mana, but we can set up a nice next turn, I guess. Let us attack, whatever. And Bubble Snare. No kicker. Their card. Play our land and ship the turn. If we had two islands, it would be quite good. Okay, that's a good card, I guess. That's a good card. So this turn we have Myriad Construct as an option. If we play Seafloor Stalker or Tazim Royal Mage, we'll have Seagate Colossus unlocked for next turn. So I guess that's the play, I guess. And if they don't want to leave anything behind, that is fine by me. Yeah, let us do it. Yeah, Bubble Snare is just too strong. Party Ziki, hey man, how are you? Oh, no worries, no worries. Don't you worry about it. I hope it gets fixed soon, because I want to watch some of your streams. Okay, what are you thinking about? Of course you're equipping that creature. What can I do about it? I don't have a flyer right now. I don't really have a flyer. So all I want to do right now is play a Seagate Colossus, gain some life. And I cannot really attack. This guy has Vigilance, which is really good for them. Yeah, I've been wondering the same thing. I've been wondering Zeke or Ziki, but I just enjoy the original way of saying it. Yeah, I could have done that. I was so they kill all my stuff. Come on, what am I doing? So probably this was not as mana efficient, but and probably I could have done that instead of Seafloor Stalker. previously? Yeah, it's hard to know, but I need something to take care of that creature. Now I have 2 islands, so... No, come on, what are you doing? So I don't have anything to bring back with Azim Royal Mage, and it won't do that much on the battlefield. So I guess I'll just fill in the board, and that's it. And hope for the best, I guess, because I really need something to take their creature out of the battlefield. Zeke. Ah, okay. So party Zeke. Okay, but Zeke, it's a nice way to say it, I guess. Okay, Prowling Falidar. Okay, I'm kinda dead right now. So I can gain 2 life, getting me to 9. If I play both of these creatures, in order to kick this, I need 2 mana. So I can kick it twice, but I cannot play a creature if I do something like that. So I guess that's what I need to do. So I'll kick it once, make it unblockable. Attack with it. Cleric. And just gain some life. Oh, come on. I don't have a way to take care of that Emeria captain. Yeah. Okay, I can survive an additional turn. Oh, that card doesn't do anything for me. A land now doesn't do anything. Well, at least I can kick twice my Seafloor Stalker, I guess. Do I attack with anything? So if I attack with Seafloor Stalker and, let's say, Myriad Construct, it would trade for both of their creatures if they blocked with both. If not, I would jump. So, if they let it go through, I'll still have 1, 2, 3 blockers behind. Actually 4 even. So I need to gain 1 life, that's for sure. So let's do that. Oh, the Nair is binding my creature and I didn't even notice it. Okay, sure. So let's attack with the Myriad Construct. What will I do? Let's gain some life. No need to kicker it. I don't have anything that would take advantage of kicker. So one more turn. One more opportunity. Oh no, it doesn't have flying. But they... Let me check the battlefield. Okay, so they... I don't have flying on any of my creatures. But yeah, they have a flyer. They pumped with the Makindi Stampede, so... that's it. That's it. GG. Let's go to the next game. I gained 1 life with my creature. That was why I was expecting to live for 1 more turn, but it didn't work out that way. I couldn't have. My start was a bit clunky for the kind of deck I was facing. It was too slow for the aggro deck, and their bug catcher was was killing me so fast. Damn. And when I took care of the Bug-Catcher, they played a flyer. And that's it. Oh, I'm really excited. It looks complex and it looks quite interesting. So let me check. Oh, if I keep this, I will do 03 today. No, I'll need to mulligan this. I have 9 white, 9 blue sources. I can play Fearless Fledgling. To the hell, let's keep it. Let's try it out. Let's try the odds. Yeah, the snow adds an interesting layer of complexity that I'm definitely not used to, but there's like that strategy of picking up the lands on pack 1 so that on packs 2 and 3 you're benefited from that. So I find it really interesting. So my opponent isn't doing anything, but they're playing red. I don't really want my Fearless Fledgling killed. So yes, I'll lose a bit of time, but I'll put the squid, and then next turn I'll Fledgling, play a Plains, attack with the squid, and have Fledgling steal with a counter and whatever. But I'm a bit concerned about removal from their side. Let us see. Yeah, that's a good thing, Yersay, and that's something a few weeks back I actually had to stop for a bit. Not that I play a lot, but I was feeling like overwhelmed or a bit tired from thinking about Magic, reading Magic every single day and stuff. So yeah, from time to time that's definitely helpful. So this is the plan. This is the plan, opponent. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You can attack me back for sure, no worries. There you go. Take 3 to the face. That's a nice emoji for lurking, Midge. That's a nice emoji. Yeah, that's the thing that I dislike the most from those special sets. It's like playing. There was one, the double masters, right? The like 30 euros or something to draft. Jesus, that's crazy. I know you get some cards back, but come on. Okay, there is the removal. There is the removal. And there's me without good plays. I don't have a land, so I cannot attack with the squid. I think Tazim Royal Mage can help me scry too, but that's not that helpful. This cannot kill their Bug-Catcher, so I'm more likely to block with the squid now and have Tazim Royal Mage available for attacks than to play the Cleric right now. That's a nice perk. Yeah, exactly. I cannot really imagine it, but I feel the taste for it. Single cards, yes. Jesus, poor you, man. That's crazy. What are they thinking about? Are they thinking about removing my squid too? I'll double block every single day. Every single day, opponent. Oh, that's a crappy card. But that is fine. It's not crappy. It can do some stuff. It's just weird they're playing these warriors in this deck. So that's a land drop. What do I want to do? Most likely to play Kabir Outrider +2/+2. They have 2 mana up, so not enough to pump the Teeter Peak Ambusher. So that's it. We just Kabir Outrider and attack. Maybe, just maybe, I could replace one low drop for an higher drop on my deck. Not really sure. I need to count again how many 2 drops I have. It depends. I need to take a look. Yeah, they might like flash the other creature, but they might have the rogue, you know, that they flash and -2/-0 and whatever. But yeah, it would be a double block. This only increases the power, not the toughness. So take your time, opponent. No worries. Sure. Will you attack with a 1/3? Of course not. Okay, cool. So I have mana for Merfolk Falconeer and actually Seagate Colossus too. I'm more inclined to play first Seagate Colossus. So I value the Merfolk higher than the Seagate Colossus. So if they have some kind of weird removal for the Colossus, for these big creatures, I prefer them to put it into the Colossus itself. So no real decisions here, and I'll play it while I can. Expandemic, you should try it from time to time. Like this is something that I talk about from time to time. There's an interesting concept in reinforcement learning, which is like a subfield of artificial intelligence. This concept exists elsewhere, okay, but it's exploration exploitation trade-off. You should. It's a trade-off. You cannot always be exploring, and you cannot always be exploiting. Okay, if you're only exploiting, you are only working with the knowledge that you have. If you're just exploring, you're not getting the knowledge ingrained in you. You're like exploring new stuff, but you don't incorporate any of that into your thought process, you know. So it's really valuable to mix, I would say, between the two. So they are tapped out. So yeah, mix, and typically what happens is I don't really need the mana right now. Do they have? Well, whatever. Actually, I shouldn't have played this land because I have good stuff to do with lands on my deck. But yeah, it's typically there's like an exploration phase initially that, well, like watching streams. I also started like that. I watched a bunch of Ben Stark videos and so on, and then I started employing that and watching. And when I watched again Ben Stark streams, I was like with a different view over it. It was really interesting. So if I attack, what happens? I would trade for both creatures unless they have. They shouldn't have like a pump spell here, but they can like 1/2. So they can give this +4 which makes it a 5, so they can trade my Seagate Colossus by the Teeterpeak Ambusher, which I don't want to happen, okay? So I'll hold this land because I should have also held the previous land, and I'll just play the Falconeer and ship the turn. They have some kind of instant. So I won't attack. I don't want to trade again the Colossus by the Ambusher. And I won't play a land. What will you do with all that mana, opponent? What will you do? What are you holding? Oh, damn. A Spellcraft. That's not good. But now I just need them to not play... To play something, or to spend a bit of mana, I guess. I can still draw my way out of this mess. Another land, so... Please, now I want a Landfall Matters card. I have the Fledgling here, so I guess I'm hoping for the retreat. They're still holding all the mana. They're not playing a Wrath. I believe the only Wrath that exists in this set is black. No attacks. It's a bit unfortunate that we're not attacking or anything like that. But yeah. Jesus, 8-hour stream. If I get really tired after like 3 hours or something of streaming. It also depends on the energy that you're receiving from your chat, of course, but it's still quite demanding, I would say. So, a Core Celebrant, that's no good. I cannot attack with the Seagate Colossus. Cannot attack with the... They have profitable blocks for my other creatures. Let us gain some life in the meantime. I'm not really sure what I can or what am I waiting for other than Falidar Retreat, for example. Because if I Falidar Retreat, I can already like pump my team and make a huge attack. Huge and profitable attack. Not really. Oh, a Nimble Trap Finder. Oh. Okay, but this is a rogue that I'm missing from the battlefield, so that's good. Creatures you control gain, deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Okay, that's good. That's good. Unfortunately, I need to draw other creatures. It's relatively common. It doesn't happen that much. There's a lot of interaction typically, but there's definitely some situations. And I guess my opponent's deck is a bit weird for a supposedly Wizards deck, and my deck is a bit more control-ish, or mid-range, probably, but a bit more control-ish. So I have full party. If I manage to do damage to them, if I attack like with these 3 creatures or whatever, but the plan is to have some play to enable an attack from the Nimble Trap Finder. I don't care. I won't attack. Actually, this Teeterpeak Ambusher is holding my whole board right now. Well, I also have a bunch of 1x creatures, or 2 of them, and My board is not that strong besides the Seagate Colossus. If they didn't have the removal for the Falconeer... Oh, thank God. Thank God you did that. Okay. You played all the cards. Now I have some thinking to do. So, benefits from playing a land? None, right? So if I attack with the Seagate Colossus, what can they do? I will eat one of their creatures. If they don't block, do I have another warrior? I have another warrior, so I can trade, sort of trade the Seagate Colossus for 2 of their creatures. That's fine, but 3 for 5, I would trade for the Cunning Geyser Mage and Grotag Night Runner. Which is fine. So if they block like that, I can also attack with what? I cannot attack with anything else, right? Not really. So, 1 attacker it is. 1 attacker it is. If they want to trade for both, that's fine. If they want to chump, that's fine. Because if they attack with the Titterpeak Ambusher and I... Exactly. As expected. They're tapped out, so that this is fine. I want to get out the higher toughness creature first. And then the turn. Okay. I think that was good for us, because now, if we're able to get a creature or whatever, we can attack and draw, which is great. I don't know exactly what they were hoping, but the thing about the removal cards like Bubble Snare is that I can the creature type is still it still matters. So oh, come on. But my opponent already got through Fearless Fledgling, the Falconeer, and the Colossus, so they're doing some stuff. Oh, come on. Come on. A little Mage's Domination now. This is a sorcery. So if I attack with every creature, I attack for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So none of them can go through the Risen Riptide if I do that. All of them survive Nimble Trap Finder, and all of them kill Titterpeak Ambusher. If on the swing back they have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If they have a land, I can pump this 3 times. So that's 6, 7 damage, 8, 9. 9 damage. That is fine. Let's do it. This game is going too long. No, I'm kidding. AAG Magic, it's not going that well. My cards are not well. The deck is not that bad, to be honest. It's actually reasonably good, but it's not sequencing right, you know. It's not sequencing right with my opponent's threats. Okay, now they're at 7. I don't have anything to do with mana, so they have 1 attack now. But if they attack, they leave themselves open for something that I might do. So this can attack for 7, 8, 9. If they have a kicker, yes, a kicker card, I'm a bit more concerned. But if not, it's fine. sometimes. So I was talking about exploration exploitation trade-off. Sometimes I like to try stuff out to see how it actually goes. So they didn't attack. They are too afraid. They have 4 lands in hand, which is way too much. I'll play 1 right now and chip the turn. Oh, come on. I need a Felidar retreat or something. Something like that. And into the Royal. And into the Royal for my Nimble Trap Finder. That's great. That's great. I can use that on their turn. I won't do anything on my turn. I know I could draw, I would have 3 mana open, potentially 4. There's no need to do that right now. I could also get this to my hand and play it on my turn. That might have been a mistake. Not sure. It depends. It depends. Sure. That's unblockable now. Or so you think. Yeah. I'm tired. Well, the lands might be useful if I draw the retreat, but yeah, they're not doing much. Oh, Luminarch Aspirant. This is so good. This is so good. So the plan is to play Nimble Trap Finder, Luminarch Aspirant, put the counter on the Nimble Trap Finder. I won't attack this turn yet, but I will attack next turn for sure. This is beginning of combat, so that is fine. Come on, gain some life. Core Celebrant is broken. It is broken. I'll actually play a land and also play my Myriad Construct. Just in case. Are you countering the Aspirant, or are you just reading it? I hope you're just reading it. It's unblockable, but it cannot attack. So that's the issue. Probably I should have picked the... Sure, opponent. The construct doesn't help on enabling Trap Finder's blocks, attacks, so it's just fine. I also don't want to attack with my other creatures. No need. No need. So... Come on. 2 synchronized spellcrafts? No one plays with 2 of these on their deck. I guess my opponent does. And that's good for them. Okay, now I can attack and draw a card with the Nimble Trap Finder. Finally, it will do some stuff. Damn. Finally. Unless they have another synchronized spellcraft. Which they might. Yeah, yeah. They killed me so many of my threats. Jesus. Okay, let's do some math. 15 cards left. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm playing with 18, 17. So 11, 12. So I have 5 more, 6 more lands, I guess. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I have 6 lands left in 15. Okay, a bubble snare. That's something. That's something. That's definitely something. So this guy, I'm tired of having that guy able to block me. It's just too good for my opponent. Unfortunately, I cannot attack with my creature. I could still attack with Myriad Construct. Does that benefit me in any way? No, they can just block with Reason or Riptide if they don't want to trade, and that's it. If I attack with all, let's say that they block and block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have a bunch of mana open, but I think they were leaving it for the Teeter Peak Ambusher. If I attack with all, and they cannot really attack me back, so they can only kill 1, potentially 2 of my creatures. So if I leave Nimble Trap Finder behind, and they block, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's not lethal. Should I go for lethal now? If they kill 2 of my creatures, I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4 for 2 of their creatures. It is a bit too risky. They have 5 cards in hand. Oh, thank you, Mitch. Thank you. Thank you for hosting me. You know what? I'll give another chance for me to not draw a land. They have 4, 6 cards in hand. Jesus, it's scary to attack like that. Here comes a land. Okay, that's a 4/4. Should I have attacked? Really not sure. Now they'll have 7 mana. 7 mana available. Come on! Come on, deck! Jesus Christ! Again, same exercise, but they now have 3 blockers. It does not benefit me in any way. Jesus, they're at 5 life. So, I could have attacked. The thing is, I wasn't really sure if they had something, some kind of removal for my creatures, like or even a kicker spell or whatever. It would be really bad for me. I'm not sure if I could come back with the kind of cards that I'm drawing. Luckily, finally I draw something that can do some work. And I guess this will give me the win, unless they have more removal, of course. At least let it get into the battlefield and let me attack with the Nimble Trap Finder. Yeah, it's... Hey, G-Force! Hey, welcome! Welcome, welcome. Long time no see, man. How are you doing? I'm playing a party deck, yes. Today it's a party deck with some bombs that are not helping me. They're not really helping me. Okay. Do you want to kill something, opponent? Okay, if I attack with all, let's say, block, 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 1, 2, 3, or block, 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 1, 2, ta. So 2 go through. That's not lethal. That's not lethal. Let's see what I draw. They're trying to deck me or something, I guess. if they do nothing next turn, they're dead. Okay, that's a cleric. I'll hold that for next turn so that I make this unblockable. Yeah, when they had 2 blockers, I have lethal on board, but they have open mana. And that was my concern. Maybe I was being overly cautious, or maybe I was just missing something. But I did not want to attack with their mana open, and because if they killed, they would eat one of my creatures and block the other. But if they killed another of my creatures, it would be really hard for me to get back to the game. That was the issue, and I want this kind of board because I have a Felidar Retreat, for example. So if I manage to put counters on my whole team, it would be very good. So I'm really not sure. Maybe I was overly cautious and I could have already won the game. But yeah, Cunning Geyser Mage, that's a good card. That's a good card for my opponent. But if they spend all that mana, I might attack. That way I might attack with everything. Actually, I just need to make... Okay, they prefer to do that. Sure. Okay. I guess I can... So now I can play cautiously and still take over the game. So let's put the counter before anything else. Snow is back. Yeah. I can imagine. I didn't play when it was available, so I'm sorry for that. But I think it's a bit balanced. It can still completely ruin Constructed in some formats, I guess, but at least there's some Snow 8 now, right? At least there's some Snow 8. All my creatures have Vigilance. That's very good. I could have attacked like with my Myriad Construct. GG opponent. That was a good game. Yeah, and the Snow 8 looks a bit bad. Or not awesome. That's what I wanted to say, I guess. It's probably not cheap enough to be put into everyone's sideboard or something, at least initially. But I guess the meta will adjust, because from what I recall from the card, it's like you should yes, exactly. All snow lands enter the battlefield tapped. So, will you run the risk of having all your lands get into the battlefield tapped? Well, still, the Astrolabe is banned in Modern and so on, right? I'm not really sure. I don't follow Constructed that closely. Let me just grab a bit of tea and get. Let's go, let's go, let's go. So, by the way, for everyone that has been joining the stream and missed the initial portion of it, the warm-up, let's say, today we reviewed a set of resources that are available via the command learning. And it's basically the set of resources that I use on a regular basis to learn stuff. There's one missing there that AG Magic warned me about that I need to add, which is the Paulo Vitor Dam da Rosa YouTube channel, which is quite recent but very, very good. But still, it's something that you might be interested in. I left out some comments regarding the things that I find most valuable from each. So yeah, let me know what you think. As always, you can find me elsewhere on Twitter, Instagram, and whatever, and we can discuss. If you have suggestions, please send them to me, such as the one that AG Magic sent. So yeah, the goal is really to create a collection of learning materials that helps us grow as a community, you know? That's why we also have the article spreadsheet that I've been updating recently. Every time I read a new article that is of interest and it's not overly specific to something, I put in there. We will actually review an interesting one next week on 8 biases that we need to drop, or I don't recall the exact name, but it's an article from also Paulo Vitor Dama da Rosa, which we'll review next week. I'm glad you're hyped, Mitch. I'm glad you're hyped. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Another game. Third game. We're at 1-1 right now. The previous game, it felt like it was 5 games in one or something. Okay, we have some good mix of lands and spells. We'll play the Makindi Stampede on turn 1 for sure. Tapped, and that's it. Don't have anything to bring with the Royal Mage right now, but still can be useful to play after the Windrider Wizard. So, as I was saying, Makindi Mesas enters the battlefield tapped. The Business. That's a nice name. Oh, who did join the Magic? The Business. I'm the Business. Respect, opponent. Respect. So, a Grotag Bug-Catcher. I will block it, opponent. I will block it. Unless you have like the spike field or whatever to kill my Sellsword. Okay, my opponent is reading the cards. That is fine. I'll do a lot of that in the coming weeks. Magic the Business. Yes, it's like I don't remember exactly, but I think in one of the recent streams it was the +1/+1 counters everywhere. Now it's the Bug-Catcher every single time. Come on. I know the card is not bad, but is it that good? Okay, whatever. I'll play my flyer. And I don't care. I don't care, opponent. Come on. Bring them to me. And them, boom. Royal Eruption in the face of my wizard. Please don't. Please don't. Please let it live. Let me win the game with a flyer, with an evasive creature, like a normal Magic game. Come on, from time to time. I'm tired from my previous game. Vote for Tino. Please, GeForce, please. Let's not make this about politics. Okay, that is fine. To the number of creatures you control to target creature or planeswalker, and you did not kill my flyer. Okay. Okay. This is a cleric. This is a wizard. I'm more prone. I need to block their creatures. So core celebrant. What can I actually do? Do I want to Tazim Raptor? Not really. I'll have 4 mana available. I cannot spend it all unless I play the Royal Mage and the Cleric of Shield Depths. If I do that, I can draw a card and discard a card. So one of my lands might be helpful here. So let's see what we draw first and foremost. I don't have that many kicker cards, so... Okay, an Expedition Healer, that's fine. Submit. I'll play a land before combat. I'll attack in the air. Start chipping away their life total and play a Cleric of Shield Depths. Yes. So that if they want to do something crazy, like attack with Farsight Adept, I can double block it. And they will need to choose what they want to kill. I still have two clerics in hand, so I can make this having lifelink, which is fine. Okay, opponent. Poor Ajani. When did this happen? I actually have my face like that, slightly below the eye, because of my cat. Okay, that makes you more prone to attacks. Why did you attack with the Sneaking Guide again? That's 7 damage. I will kill the Sneaking Guide. Do you have a pump spell? They might have the +2/+2 pump spell, which is not great for me. But still, between these two creatures... Whatever. Yeah, okay. They did not want to attack with all. Sorry. Okay, we have a Luminarch Aspirant to pump my flyer. Yes! We're having a normal game of Magic now. Thank God. Okay, this core celebrant will get into the battlefield for sure. Okay, I cannot really play both. Which is a bummer. But I want to play my Luminarch Aspirant and my Expedition Healer, and that's what I can do, right? So let's do this. Put in the flyer. I could have actually put the counter on the Cleric and like first defend effectively and then start attacking. So I'm not 100% sure that my play was optimal there. Maybe I'm just too focused on attacking in the air. But now I can hold one of their attackers back with the Cleric of Shield Depths, even if they eat it. But if I've put the counter here, this would be a 4, a 3. Okay, you can pump that twice. Can pump that twice. 1. Yes. So if you pump that twice, it attacks for 5, which is a lot. Or I get 3 damage. So what I'll do is, if I do it like this, they won't... I'll be at 5, and I don't want to be at 5, for sure. I don't want to be at 5. Because of Royal Eruption and the like. And kick the Royal Eruption costs them 7. So... Okay. That's still fine. Okay, that's a land. That's a land. So, if I attack, I'll get them to 11. If I don't attack, and they attack me back, they'll attack for 3 plus 3, 6. I'll have a blocker behind. So getting me to 6, it's not that bad if I block one of them. So I will still attack with my flyer right now. I could actually... Well, I could actually have played Merfolk Falconeer before attacks just to see what I draw, to see if it changed my action plan for the turn. It doesn't really, right? Do I need a Tazim Raptor? It can be a backup plan, right? It can be a backup plan. Still, I think Cleric is less important right now. Can I play any of them? No. Next turn I can 3, 4, 5. I can double spell with the Cleric and Core Celebrant. So I'll actually try and send the Raptor back. Yeah, I think it's a better thing because it enables me to, even if they attack with both and do whatever crazy they want, I can play both creatures next turn and ensure that I have a good protection on the battlefield. So my opponent agrees, and we are heading for the next game. Okay. Let's do those daily challenges. 2 wins, 1 loss. Let's do it. I played the Felidar Retreat once. Yeah, it actually won me the game. Oh, I was winning in a way. I was ahead at least. But Felidar Retreat won me that game. But it was kind of, yeah. I want to do more interesting stuff with those kind of cards. Come on. My Spotify is going crazy. No, next one. Oh, there are not that many songs in this playlist, I guess. What we're listening to is a new Stream Beats playlist that they pushed out. They are investing a lot this year on Stream Beats, and I think it's pretty cool. And there's this ambient playlist that they put out, and I thought about trying it out today. It's interesting. It's the business model. It's really interesting. So I will keep. I have early plays and all of that, so I'm happy. Yeah, I saw you use Soundstripe. I need to take a deeper look into that, but so I have. Yeah, I'll play the Squid before, because this is more useful in the early game, I guess. It's a bit between it and Cliffhaven Sellsword. It's a bit nyeh, but so for 3 mana I have Core Celebrant to play. That is fine. My opponent isn't doing anything. If they don't play anything on their 3rd turn, I would have hoped I would have played the Cliffhaven Sellsword. Either way, let us attack. I'm really tempted on playing the Sellsword. Oh, to the hell with it. Let's spend all our mana. You would go aggressive? Yeah, and probably you're right. Okay, that's a Soaring Thought Thief. So probably I'm glad. Well, it would trade with the Cell Sword. So yeah, I should have looked into their mana. But it would be probably appropriate. Well, trading with a Ghastly Gloomhander, that's just fine. So I don't really care. Core Celebrant, you're on attacking duty. Do you want to jump block? Sure. Okay, this was a nice sequencing of events. Oh, nice. My Royal Mage now has an Into the Royal as target, and I was gonna draw the Fledgling. Sure, I don't really care. That's a 3/3. That's a 3/3. Okay. This cost me 6 to kick, so I can kick it next turn. This turn, I can play a land, attack with the Squid, and see if they trade. If I attack with both, they will likely trade with Kabir Outrider. If I just attack with the Squid, they aren't that likely to trade, you know? So, I won't play a land. I will... Oh, I have to play a land! Oh. Damn. Given all of that, I will actually attack with Kabir Outrider and see if they want to trade. Jesus, so stupid, you. I will... No, I won't hold the land just because I need... Jesus, stupid. Hey, Ezer! Ezer, how are you doing? Welcome. Welcome. It's always great to have a high density of Portuguese people on my stream, or a bunch of Portuguese people on my stream. It's always... It warms my heart. By the way, GeForce, regarding the MDFC, so it kind of depends. I like it how Ethan Sachs put it. I believe it was him. It was like, if you play 3 MDFCs, you play 18 lands typically. It all depends on... Then you need to adjust your curve, but it's like adjusting from the baseline of 17 lands, you know? So 18... then if you have 4 to 6 or whatever, you play 19. And if you have more, you might play 20. But it also depends on the kind of MDFCs that you have and stuff like that. So, either way, let us see. We will attack. Can they mill? It will be a 2/3, but I still trade with it, right? So now I have 6 mana. I could actually have... well, I can still Tazim Royal Mage and get my Into the Royal, which is great. Which is great. If I attacked with all, that is fine. Do you have something? You probably do. Vanquish the Weak, sure. Damn. Okay, our plan stands. To be honest, well, Vanquish the Weak, okay, fine. But we got some very good cards from their hand. So they're still holding all their mana. They might have an additional trick, so I do want to have Into the Royal available for 4, which will leave me with 2 mana. If I play this 3 mana with Windrider Wizard, but I will likely just play the Squid and hold the land for the next turn. So yeah, let us see. Attack with Kabir Outrider. Looking for traits. Deadly Alliance. Okay, do I want to save my creature? I think I do. I think I do, because I can put it on the battlefield and really get my opponent. So I will play the wizard so that next turn I can outrider my wizard, and actually I might actually be able to remove the Thought Thief. Oh, okay. So the game is going a bit longer than that. Okay, the Stonework Pack Beast. It actually pumps my Kabir Outrider. So I might play Pack Beast, Outrider. Pack Beast, Outrider. And attack with Core Celebrant. Let's see. This will be a 3-7-4-7. Yes, sure. That's the best thing I can do, I guess. Either way, I won't. I'm gaining a bunch of life from it. If they double block, they won't kill it. So it is fine. It is fine. Hey Mitch, I just saw your message. Yeah, maybe I could have swinged with the additional 3/3 on that turn. So I will ship the turn. I don't really need more lands right now. I'm gaining a bunch of life from the Core Celebrant. It's any creature, yeah. Oh, I just need one of my finishers now, please. Okay, we have a squid and we have 2 lands, so 2 attacks with it. Right now I can just attack with Kabir Outrider. It will trade with any of their creatures. They can see my squid in my hand, so I would be disrupted with a Subtle Strike or the like, but they're probably holding lands right now. They had so much to do already. So that is fine. Okay, that's a 3/3 flyer. That makes it a bit harder for me. Oh, the Aspirant. Okay, Google Assistant, I don't need your help right now, thank you. Thank you very much. So I have a Tazim Raptor now. Jesus. Oh, opponent. You filled up your board. Now I need something magical to happen. I will trade the squid with whatever they want. Oh, I'm glad you did that. Okay, they had to pump this quite a bit. Sure. I might get a Felidar Retreat. Was it milled already? Was it milled now? Not really. Average Ocelot, thank you for following and welcome to my stream. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. So if you're attacking with the Soaring Thought Thief and I'm at 11, cards. They are milling me like crazy. Jesus. I really need to do something. Lands again. Lands. Even the Merfolk Falconeer would be awesome. I can't do much. If I attack, they will eat it, so attacks on the ground don't work. They will block it. What can I do? I don't want to play a land. So I'll ship the turn. I'm at 10. If they mill my... Okay, Seagate Colossus. Yes. Oh, come on. Come on. Nimble Trap Finder now? When I'm at 2? Come on, I don't even have a turn to attack with it. Whatever. I'll play it till the end. If they draw a land or, well, if they attack, that's plenty. Okay. GG. GG, opponent. Just 1 second. So they milled? Sure. Okay, whatever. All the lands. And they won by milling. Okay. I wasn't defeated from a milling strategy for a while. That is fine. We're at 2-2 right now. Let's see if we can grab a few other wins. I'm running cold now. I don't know if I jinxed anything, but I hope this is a good omen that I'll have luck on my side on Kaldheim. I hope it is a good omen. Okay, La Pepinacia. Okay, sure. So we have plenty of lands. We have our awesome bird. We'll keep. We'll employ the same strategy. Cliffhaven Sellsword on turn 2. Turn 3, Fearless Fledgling land. And attack with the Sellsword if possible. All the lands, every time. Of course, of course. Thank you, deck, for being so kind. I could have put 2 flyers on the board, but whatever. So that's actually a card. Do I want to attack through that? Typically they value these kind of cards quite a lot. Rogues value these kind of cards, so... Ay. No. Okay. Let's make this a 2-2. Next turn it will attack for 3. I won't attack in the ground. Well, this pumps for each party type, so it's a warrior. Of course I won't block. Of course I won't block. Expedition Champion. That's a card that I don't want to see. Okay. Probably I do want to put the wizard on the battlefield before I use Kabir Outrider to pump my team, since this will only pump for 1 now, and it will pump for 2 next turn. And if they want to race, I'm winning the race. By a lot. by a lot. Even if they play... So they won't likely play both a warrior and a rogue. Maybe they won't have a rogue for this Skulker anytime soon, but they might have for the champion. So it's a 4, I go to 14, they're at 11. I'm in a very good place. Drawing lands, Makindi Stampede, I'm still not sure what I'll do with that card. If I'll play it as a land or as a... Okay. That's too bad. That's too bad. So I have plenty of lands. What I'll do is... So I will actually play a Plains, just because I know they don't have that, but there are some spells that it's like counter that spell if the opponent doesn't play one or whatever. It's just good practice to recall those sort of things, I guess. This ambience music is really good. You're tapped out, opponent. I don't really care about his warrior. Okay. I think I'll just play the squid and ship the turn. Let's see if they are brave enough to attack. So 3, 4, 5. I need 5 mana to cast the Makindi Stampede. I need the land for next turn. Come on, Diogo, think about stuff. I need the land for next turn to enable me attacks with the squid and the Stampede. They'll attack with that. I don't care. This is a desperate play, I guess. They might have another big creature to put on the board, so... Another Seagate. Whatever. Okay. If I pump all my team, this is +2/+2. So this is a 5/5. This is a 5/4. They will need to block both. They will need to block both, but I'm not positive. This is a sorcery. Okay, I'll just play it safe, you know? I'll just play it safe. And win next turn. Oh yeah, if they attack with both, that's wonderful for me. But I guess they're not... They don't have death wishes. Let's see. Okay. That's a Ravager's Mace. That's 9. Power and Menace. That's cool. You attack with it. Okay, they might still have Into the Royal. So I'll need to block all of them. So I will attack... I will block 3 and 3 kills. This holds it tapped. So I guess this is the best block that I have. It's actually pretty easy. They don't seem to have Into the Royal, but now they are dead. Unless they play the flyer. They're tapped out, so Makindi Stampede for the win. Good game, opponent. Okay. We're climbing up the ladder. Jesus, this month I think I played very, very little. Well, with COVID and all of that, I streamed way less this month. So yeah, I played a lot less drafts. Yeah, whatever. 3-2. 3-2, I guess. Let's keep on climbing up the ladder. Yeah, you've been playing a lot Midgard and trying a bunch of other stuff. That's also very, very cool. And to be fair, I wouldn't play that much on the ladder if I didn't want to play with more challenging opponents. Well, I guess that's one of the purposes for the ladder, of course. But what I mean is, like, I would prefer to play best of 3, but I can't. So, speaking of things that I cannot keep this hand. I can keep this hand. I know it's a bit late. So I don't have early plays or anything like that, but I will keep this. I'll need a lance. Every single land with the Felidar Retreat is very, very good. Between Kabir Outrider and Myriad Construct, I would prefer the Construct. But do I need field research right now? I can play it on turn 3 and draw 2 cards, which is very good. So I prefer to put that card on the bottom. Because this will refill my hand. Yeah, two stupid ends. Okay. This cleric can hold the battlefield until I have my Felidar Retreat. Mouse Pit Skeleton? Sure. Unkicked? Sure. This is a sorcery. This will be... So next turn, I will Felidar Retreat, and then I will need additional lands. So I would have to cast Field Research on turn 5, either way, and on 5 I won't have 6 mana. So in order to draw lands, I mean, if I don't draw a land next turn. So I will draw 2 lands right now. 2 lands? I said... I meant to say I was going to draw 2 cards, not 2 lands, but I actually draw 2 lands, so whatever. I'm psychic. Sometimes I'm psychic, yeah. So, what I can actually do is, and this is much more interesting, is play Myriad Construct this turn. You know? That way, next turn I can Felidar Retreat, +1, and do... I can even put counters on my creatures and attack. I won't likely do that, but it's a possibility. So, no attacks. But there's no need to put the Felidar Retreat in harm's way this early. I have lands to discard, or whatever to discard if I truly need, so it's fine. If they have, like, the discard to spell. With blue, they might also have the rare rogue that steals an artifact. They're looking for it. Are they looking for it? I hope not. I just hope not. Okay, Swarm Shambler, that's not that good, I think. Okay, Tazim Raptor. That's cool. I have 2 plays for turn 6. That's very cool. Let's just fill in my board. I want all the cats. Meow. 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 Okay. Let's see. What is... So my opponent is playing like a +1/+1 counters deck. This Swarm Shambler is a tad too slow. Okay. Another cat. And 2 creatures. Because from next turn onwards, I do want to to attack with my flyers. Jesus. It will be awesome. It will be awesome. I don't want to attack with my ground creatures. Finally, we're doing stuff with the retreat. Jesus, opponent. It will... I'm sorry. Well, I might still lose. Let me keep my mouth shut and not jinx it. What are you trying to do, opponent? That has vigilance. Oh, if I manage to target this with some spell, I can like put +1/+1 counters on all of them. That's really cool. Doesn't untap. That's a bad blocker for that creature. Do I let the 5 go through? I think I do. I think I do. Let's see what I do next turn. I might block with both of these. Next turn. Still trading right now, it's not that good for me. Silum Division. And Plunder. All the counters, all the counters. Let's draw a card. Yes. Oh, I don't care about that. I care much more about lands. Now I want to get flooded. So, no reach creatures. Sure, this card is so slow. It's so slow. Well, it can do some stuff, but the +1/+1 counters deck, it's not that good by itself, unless you get really all the good enablers and payoffs. 3 of those cards, that's a very good card drawing effect. It might do some stuff. Jesus, 3 cards. That's what I call a refill. Sure. I don't plan on attacking in the ground anytime soon. So this is a target of a spell, not an ability. Jesus. This is too much. I'm sorry, opponent. This is just too much. Now the deck is doing what it's supposed to do. This is what this deck was made for. Nice. And I like it. I like it. Well, one needs to celebrate the wins, right? And you will lose in Magic due to variance, but you need to celebrate the wins. Okay, that does not save you, opponent, unless you... Okay. Nimble Trap Finder. Do I want to play this before combat? Nope. Well, if I play this is a rogue. I have whatever, cleric, wizard, rogue, and whatever. So I will draw cards. If my opponent doesn't do anything, I will draw cards with the Wind Rider wizard, I believe. Creatures you control gain. Okay, so I will... draw 2 cards if my opponent manages to survive. They might still have like an Into the Roil or whatever. They cannot really kick an... Oh, 4 mana, they can kick an Into the Roil. So I'm still Psychic. I'm still Psychic. So this way I still draw a card. Oh, I should have waited. Whatever. My creatures are huge. Okay. No reach creature, opponent. You should have played this, waited for next turn, but whatever, they are dead. Into the Royal. Into the Royal. Okay, I'm at 15. Yeah, whatever. They lost hope. They lost hope. Okay. We're not doing bad. Well, those bombs helped. Those bombs helped a lot that turn. Well, at least I'm glad this deck did what it's supposed to be doing. So, next turn. Next game, I mean. Next game. Rupias. Okay, 3 lands. Sagiri's Shelter will get played as a land turn 1. So I'll keep. Hello there. Hello opponent. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday, and whether you win or lose, you learn. Another Bug-Catcher? Come on, I'm fucking tired of those cards already. Come on. Sorry for the language. But so many. Jesus. Okay, Nimble Trap Finder. Do I want to play this creature right now? I have a turn 3 play with the Seafloor Stalker. Right? But I have plenty of plays since I have that early. But I want an effective blocker for the Bug-Catcher right now. I don't want to lose just because I did not pay attention to the Bug-Catcher. I don't want to do that. Full sanding? What's coming? I wonder. Do they have a way? Daddy Dreidel, thank you for following. Thank you very much. I will block every single day. They can rescue their creature with a subtle strike, exactly. So this is a sign that we're late in the format. I know what cards my opponent is going to play. So this turn, do I need a blocker for that? I don't, right? Next turn, what I'll do is into the Royal, so Wind Rider Wizard is actually the way for me to save, to spend all my mana and also get a card with Into the Royal. Felidar Retreat. I was gonna draw you. Okay, this turn I cannot block, unfortunately. This turn, since I did not draw land, I'm really not sure. This will attack for 4, which is bad for me. Into the Royal unkicked. That sounds so bad. That sounds so bad. Field research. This is not the time for field research. I would draw 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would have 7 cards in hand, but I would die in no time. So that's not good. I think... Should I ship the turn? I won't attack. I don't care about that. Yeah. Playing the Seafloor Stalker, I'm not in a good position, but I can double block the Bug-Catcher with both of my creatures. And that doesn't look that bad. Unless they have something, it's a 1-for-1 trade, for which I'm happy. Another one. And no land. Okay. Okay, what can I do? With 3 mana... Nimble Trap Finder... I'm sorry, but I'm still not in a position to attack. I'm still not in a position to attack. But you know what? I'll actually play it because I can block with the Seafloor Stalker, their Bug-Catcher. It's kind of fine by me. I just need lands, and probably next turn. I'm not really sure. Field researching that turn might have been the correct play, to be honest. Do they have a pump spell? They don't look like it. Yeah, I will trade opponent. Field research might have been the correct play, so that I draw a land and I could play the land on that turn, and so on. No, 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 no lands. That's also no good. Decline. Come on. I want all my lands. I will attack just because. It's a free attack. Whatever. Hype. Hype, hype, hype. Two Grotags, the dream of every control player. Thankfully they play that before combat, so I'm fine on trading. Now I get a land, thank you. Thank you. So... should I probably should Kabir Outrider. It will be a 2/2, their creature. So this enables me to attack for a bunch and have an effective blocker, unless they play a creature of their own. But in that case, it's fine. In that case, it's fine, the trade. They have some, like, they could have another Nimana Skydancer if they play before damage. My Kabir Outrider would trade, but trading it's fine. Bye bye. Bye bye, Trap Finder. Okay. I still want to keep on trading. Damn, an Into the Royal there would not help actually, so whatever. So I need to play stuff. So if I play this unkicked and don't draw land, they will attack me for 3/6. That's way too much. So I think I will do this. I will still accept an attack for 2. I'm in no shape to protect myself from or an attack for 3 from a kick the Royal Eruption. the thing is, if I give them back the Drana Silencer, that's not good for me. So I will actually need to take 3 instead of 2. Putting this back in their hand, and if they don't play it, that's very bad for me. That's very bad. Okay, that's a land. Jesus. Bug-Catcher Tribal to end the day? Ah, Christ. I don't think I have an out now. I have 5 mana. 1, 2, 3 mana. That's just enough for a field research. Playing this does not help me. 2. So. Yeah, nothing I can do. I lost this game. Whatever. Good game. Good game. Yep. Bug-Catcher Tribal. How many losses do I have? 3 or 2 right now? I don't remember. I don't remember. Oh, 3 losses. That's too bad. That's too bad. Let us claim the prize. Let's claim the prize. Okay, and to wrap things up, let's open up the packs. Okay, a bunch of nice cards. Magmatic Channeler, we played against one of these. It can do it. It's very synergistic with the deck it plays in. Getting 4 or more instants. Well, if you prioritize the cheap ones, it's easy. But that's not always the case. Oh, Phyleth. I played with this card on my first on my pre-release, on Zendikar Rising pre-release. It's just so good. it's a bomb. Okay, no, there's not much to add. Roost of Drakes, that's cool. Shadow's Verdict, the sweeper of the set. Actually, in Kaldheim there are a lot of sweepers. Oh, that is cool. Thank you. I like those kind of cards. Skycleave Relic. Cool. That's not that good. Typically you don't want that kind of cards. Sherix, it's like a B, I would say. B to B minus maybe. It can hold the ground for quite a while in the early game. Well, in the mid game. And then you can start pumping it multiple times at the same time for attacks. Coveted Prize. Actually, I don't think I've ever played with this card, or just once or something. Full Party. Ignore the full party part. On black, that's very rare. 4 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. Yeah, this card is just bad for limited. 5 mana, Tutor. You can play a card, but that won't ever happen. Inscription of Insight, it's actually pretty nice. It's not as synergistic between the options with themselves as the green one, but it can still do some work. The illusion is can be quite nice. Actually, it's synergistic in a way. At least it pumps your illusion for 2. And the filtering ability is quite nice. The issue with this card when compared with the green one is the cost. Kicking this is very, very expensive. You need to pay 8 for it, and I don't believe its effect is actually that much better, or even better than the green card, depending on the deck, of course. It's always contextual. Come on, I do have another pack, no? I don't have another pack. This is a bug. Sure. It's a bug. Temple of Epiphany, I don't care about any of this. So let us do the following to wrap things up. Let us do the following. So, this is the spreadsheet that I was talking about and that we reviewed in the early game, before the games, not in the early game. Sometimes the wires on my brain, they like short circuit and I say stupid things. I think it's funny how the human mind works. It's not deterministic, you know. Well, whatever. Let us refresh the page and hopefully have our deck here. So is now missing again in the logs on both Windows and Mac. Why Arena? Per game, results and turn by turn. Replace, client update, I already did that. Whatever, latest deck. So, draft. Let us look into the draft. So something that you should probably recall is that we saw a lot of red floating around on pack 2, more specifically, and late red. So I know that in pack 1 we saw a bunch of red, but I'm wondering if we should have picked red instead of whatever. So we started very well indeed. So pack 1, pick 1, as I was saying previously, is not being logged properly. We have Fearless Fledgling. The pack 2, I don't believe there's much to discuss here. Fearless Fledgling is slightly worse because it doesn't have types, but it's still very good. Deadly Alliance, there are people that might actually pick Deadly Alliance over Fearless Fledgling, but this is not typically that cheap on a Felidar Retreat. I might still not play this, but it's splashable. So Zoff Consumption as like one of the most versatile cards in this pack, I guess. Grotag can do some work, but having it doing damage to your opponent, that doesn't happen that much. Maddening Cacophony, actually we saw a crab later, so it would pair very nicely with the Cacophony. Nimble Trap Finder, very nice rare. Again, when comparing all these party rares on blue and on white, I believe this is one of the best ones, since its ability is quite good. Shipping 2 damage per turn is quite interesting. And is quite useful in the game typically. Even more when you leave some blockers behind, like the Cleric and both clerics, the blue cleric and the white cleric, the 1/4. So and this the main part of this card triggers by having any kind of party creature enter the battlefield. That's so much more powerful than if you have if it's more powerful, or at least it's easier to trigger. Okay. If then an ability that would count the party count, that would consider the party count. I'm diverging a bit, but this is essentially the comparison. This triggers even if you have a rogues deck. This is very good in it's very good, I believe, in a rogues deck that doesn't do party. But it gets even better on a party deck, but you don't expect to trigger it that often. 2 mana to 1 that typically attacks every single turn in the early game. That's very good. Field research. These picks don't matter that much. So let's see the wheel. None missing. So someone picked Deadly Alliance, of course. Veteran Adventurer. These are the better cards of this pack. I do agree. Well, I don't know exactly why someone picked Kazandu Nectar Pod instead of Turn Timber Aesthetic. I believe this card is better than Kazandu Nectar Pod. And bear in mind, I do like Nectar Pod, but at least this is a cleric and it gains you some life, and it's actually a very good blocker. Bearded Ace. Bearded Ace. Welcome. My weekend has been quite good. I've been like I spent almost all the week studying Kaldheim and working on some spreadsheets and stuff like that. But it has been good, and this draft, the draft that we did today, was also interesting. We're actually wrapping up, like reviewing what happened during the draft. So yeah, we went 4-3. So we're still positive win rate, which is good. And what about your weekend, Bearded Ace? How was it? Have you been installing more stuff to your setup, to your streaming setup? That is, your streaming setup is very, very interesting. Let me close MTG Arena and try to open the Kaldheim spreadsheet so that I can just briefly show you. I hope to have it ready to review the archetypes during Thursday's stream, but let us see. Either way, Turn Timber instead of Kazan Nectar Pod, that's not that good. So, by the way, GeForce, regarding Kaldheim, I don't know if anyone else wants to chime in, but from my perspective, it's definitely an interesting format because it has a lot of crossover between cards. It's a complex format, so it will be interesting to try to understand micro synergies, and one of the interesting things is this. I believe that a lot of decks will work in like pockets of synergy, as Alex Nikolic usually says. There will be a bunch of your decks will be composed of a bunch of pocket synergies, and because the overarching synergies for each archetype are generally speaking not that strong, or at least not that supported at common. Okay. So yeah, there are some powerful cards, and I'm not really sure how it will affect constructed. But in terms of limited, I think it's pretty well balanced. I don't expect to see something like in Ikoria, the cycling archetype. So, but yeah, I think since the archetype's main plan is not that supported, you will rely a lot on those pockets of synergies. And one of the most fun things to discover in Magic, from my perspective, are those little interactions that gets you a bit more value than they would than the cards would when played separately. But pockets and not overarching synergies, like the milling strategy from the rogues, like the clerics, in which you're trying to build an engine basically, and that's how you win a lot of the games. So pick 10. Let's just see what else. So yeah, people picked. So I guess the guy that was picking these Grotag Bug-Catchers was the last guy. Today it was like Grotag Bug-Catchers every single match or close to it. And the last match, yeah, Basic Kitty, welcome to my stream and thank you for following. Thank you very much. As I was saying, we're wrapping up, but still we're trying to to do this retrospective on how our game went. I'm doing good, thank you. What about you? How are you doing? You've been streaming some interesting stuff, and I already told you I love the layout that you have in place. It strikes me as the mix of that layout with horror games. It's very interesting. So Seagate Colossus was our pick because Midge wanted us to play the Seagate Colossus. No, I'm kidding. Seagate Colossus would do some work in our deck. I wouldn't want to play two of them, but one is more than plenty. Okay, so pack 2. That's when we saw a bunch of red cards, but they were picked. Probably we had our neighbors to our left picking red aggressively. So altogether, I'm really happy for how our draft winded up. I think we fell in the color combination that we should. We had very good cards in both blue and white. I might have. So in limited, it's tricky. So in limited, card quantity is typically more valuable than card quality, unless you're really unless you're closing the game as early as possible. If you get into the mid or late game, you're typically out of cards in your hand, unless you invest in 2 or 3 card drawing spells, which typically you should, depending on your game plan. But if you're planning on getting into the mid game, you should think about card advantage. In clerics, it would work. You would get some card advantage via the blood beckoning and the thwart the grave. So getting stuff out of the grave, that's a way to get card advantage, and a very good way for clerics, because you want your engine to keep rolling and you want to recycle your creatures, and you have ETB effects. That deck is broken. So I was saying yes, and yeah. So I actually forgot what I was saying exactly, but well, card advantage, it's useful in this kind of deck. The issue that we found was we were never in, or we were. It was rare for us to be in a situation where we had some breathing room to cast field research. We never kicked it, to be honest, right? But still, we were not really able to take advantage of this card, unfortunately. But we did not have that much other card advantage in our deck, so I guess it was fine. Luminarch Aspirant is just very, very good. I don't know exactly. So I don't know, maybe there are people that would pick Roost of Drakes over this. I wouldn't. This card is just too good. But it depends on what stage of the game it is. So okay, so 1.41. This is also influenced. This average pick is also influenced by, let's say, you're in pack 3, you open a Luminarch Aspirant, and you don't, and you're playing Simic Kicker. Well, you won't pick the Luminarch Aspirant unless there's no good card. Like if there's a Murasa Sproutling, I'm picking a Sproutling over the Aspirant, for example. So it's definitely contextual. A bunch of good red cards. Not sure if it was this pack that wheeled, but we'll take a look into that. Cliffhaven Sellsword. This card does stuff. Even though it doesn't have abilities, its combination of cheapness and power, it's really helpful. So let's look into the wheels. McKinley Stampede. Having this wheeling is a very good sign. I don't know how people pick Dauntless Unity or Allied Assault over McKinley Stampede. I don't. But, well, I guess if you're really looking for, if you're doing like a go wide strategy, which is not even something well supported in Zendikar Rising, or if you have this is the party, this is Jesus, up to 2 target creatures. This can do some stuff, but well, my deck, it's not concerned. If you're doing warriors, you might pick Allied Assault over McKinney Stampede. I wouldn't. I don't think no, I wouldn't, because this is the number of creatures in your party. So this card, I know it's uncommon, but it's not that good. Okay, whatever. Seagate Banneret, but regarding so people pick the good red cards, so I'm not sad that I did not pick red. I think we did not saw as stronger red as we saw blue. I know we saw a Royal Eruption somewhere in pack 2, exactly pick 3. And we picked a relatively shitty card, if I'm honest, but when comparing to a Royal Eruption at least. But that was it. That was it. And in order to take advantage of Validar Retreat, our flyers and stuff, I think blue is the best color pair to do that. Okay, that's pack 2. And pack 3, we started with a Myriad Construct. I was still thinking about picking Root Grazer, most likely. I did not have that much kicker on my deck, but using my lands could be helpful. Still, this is not that helpful because I actually have two cards that take advantage of that. If I had more MDFCs, it might be worth splashing. Because of 2 reasons, okay? Hey, Daddy Dreidel. No worries, no worries. So because of 2 reasons, and I like to explain this kind of stuff. Arena on Linux, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure if Wine, if it would work well over Wine. I would say so. Maybe because it is built over the whatever game engine, very well known, Risk or whatever. I'm not really familiar with game engines, but it's built over a well known game engine, so it probably would work. Not that well, probably, but it I don't know why, but Arena is very resource intensive. It's very taxing on your machine. I hope they fix that. At least the mobile version should be much less resource intensive. But yeah, Root Grazer would be helpful in different ways, right? If I had more MDFCs, so that it would enable me I would have more mana slots typically. And that would enable me to play more lands, therefore play at least like 3 lands to splash green or something. But splashing early plays, it's generally not the best thing since sliced bread, okay? So I would not advise towards it. So in this pack, we had a pick between Master of the Winds and Stonework Pack Beast. If this was pack 2, I probably would have picked Master of Winds and tried to prioritize a bit more highly Wizards, but Stonework Pack Beast did a lot for our deck, so I'm not sad for that choice. Bubble Snare, very nice card. Skyclave Cleric would also, but that's fine. Now Ruin Crab or Cleric of Shield Depths. I'm still not sure about this pick. Probably I should have picked the Ruin Crab right here. It would be an additional win con, and thinking back, I would definitely have picked the Ruin Crab. I know it doesn't count towards party types, and this Cleric of Shield Depths, it did a bit, a few stuff, but it didn't do that much. the Ruin Crab. Again, I would be interested in playing lands, so in triggering landfall out of stuff. And I already had a Tazim Raptor to get a land from the battlefield and to play again. And my deck was interested in getting into the late game, so Ruin Crabs are very good to win late game fights, right? You're trying to switch to Linux. Don't you have a big enough disk to have dual boot GeForce? Because during university, I always had Windows and Linux side by side. I actually never used Windows, so at some point I got rid of it. But it's something that you can try. You can even something that you can do. Probably it won't work that well, but you can install Ubuntu on a flash drive. Ensure that you have at least USB 3.0, and try booting up Arena from there and play 1 or 2 games with Sparky, for example. But dual boot would be my suggestion there. Just like I typically, since I imagine you would do something similar, I would do most of my stuff on Linux, but leave a bit of space for Windows that would be enough. So like if you leave 150 or 200 gigs for Windows, that should be enough. Buy a Mac. That's I guess the new Macs with or at least the new MacBook Pros are very good. You already talked about that. Yeah, you already talked about that. If you just need a Unix terminal, try the Windows terminal that you can install, the Ubuntu terminal essentially. You can mix. I don't know about the most recent developments, but I know that they were making huge strides in having like an Ubuntu separate Ubuntu instance a bit irrelevant in some ways. So there are 2 ways to go about it. Then you can either install that, and you can the Ubuntu shell, and I can actually show you very quickly. So this is the PowerShell, whatever. Oh, I don't want that. I want to open the Ubuntu shell. So I can do some stuff. I can even sudo apt-get install whatever Python. I don't want to do that right now, but you can do stuff like that. And you see, you still have access to your drive in Mount C users Duo in this case. So yes, WSL, whatever. Yeah. That's it. You can easily install, try it out, see if it works for you. If it doesn't, you can also try having Docker running. And I'm sorry to everyone else. This is very nerdy stuff. I'm a software engineer, so I know this kind of stuff. But yeah, you can also try Docker and have like an instance running, and you connect to the terminal there and you do whatever. So two options to try out on Windows. Probably the Docker instance won't have that much performance, but still, right now I don't feel the need to move to Unix, to Linux, to be honest, since I also don't work that much on this machine. So yeah, Cleric of Shield Depths, I would have picked Ruin Crab for sure. Merfolk Falconeer, unfortunately, it did not do much other than taking removal from my opponent's hand. Shell Shield, it did not get played. Cleric of Shield Depths, so yeah, I should have played the Ruin Crab, picked the Ruin Crab. I'm not sure if it would have made that much difference. Most of the games that I lost I lost them in the early to mid stage of the game, so not really sure. So yeah, that is it. Let me just show you what I've been working on. I guess this is still loading a bunch of stuff. Jesus, this is really heavy. I don't know exactly why it's taking so long. typically does not, but I guess it's because of the stream. But yeah, so what I did here, it's basically a place where I try to input a few things. Like I go through the whole set, I input the names, I input whether it's removal, whether it's combat trick. I add a rating, and I base this rating on not only on my opinion, but also on the Lords of Limited and the limited resources ratings. Whether it's build around or not, I still have to update a bunch of this stuff. I had a few comments like, this is synergistic with that, you should play this like that, stuff that might not be obvious to you at first sight. Then I categorize cards in 3 categories. Sorry for the redundancy there. Whether it's an enabler for the archetype, a payoff for the archetype, or a support for the archetype. Okay? And I do that for basically the whole set. I also have a few stuff. So there's a bunch of stuff here that comes automatically, like the color, rarity, CMC, type, the link, and a bunch more stuff here, like mana cost, creature, whatever, all that stuff. Let me actually just put this a bit bigger for you. Okay. I load all this stuff, and other than that, I also have these little funny interaction that I like. I select one of the rows, I select a cell on any of the rows, and the cards are updated here on this corner. Hey, Sticks Palm. Hey, long time no see, man. Oh, from this morning, I guess. Thank you for following. No worries, no worries. I actually know why you weren't following me, because I've not been streaming that much lately. So I hope to fix that in the coming days. So this is the spreadsheet. It's taking a long time to load for some reason. I think I have my internet all filled up, the bandwidth, I would say. And the only thing that I'm still not feeling very confident about is having this quadrant theory and synergy theory. I think I will just have, like, on the top a reminder for one to think about these concepts while building the spreadsheet. But the idea is to have stuff that it is automatically filled in, after I fill those specific fields on the set review spreadsheet. So in this case, I filled in the names and the description of the main archetypes. The idea is still to also have some secondary archetypes, like 5-color, whatever. But typically they are all based on these 2-color combinations. Even the 5-color snow that people are hypothesizing that exists and probably will. It's based on Gruul, okay? Then I need to add the links for assignables to uncommon. I'm still working on that. The ranking between rank 1, 2, and 3 of each of these archetypes. And this, and we start seeing some stuff that is interesting. I'm still filling out this part, but this is automatically filled in from the set review spreadsheet. So you start seeing what archetypes have more enablers, have more payoffs at common, at uncommon. So you start seeing, for example, that probably I will only find payoffs on uncommon in this set or something like that. And where does the support lie? And all of these require like at least a C grade for them to be considered. And then this is just early stuff, but the idea is to have like the listing of top commons and uncommons, the creature CMC of creatures and removal, the toughness of creature and versus power, that kind of stuff, and having that always being filled in very quickly, so that in like 2 or 3 days after the full spoiler is available, I can share this with anyone interested. So that's a bit the idea. So yeah, and by the way, this is automatically filled in via the Scryfall API. That's the plan. So yeah, but that is for next stream, probably Thursday. So that was it for today. I hope you had a good time with me today. I hope you learned something. Don't forget that if you're interested, you have those free resources available to you, both the article spreadsheet as well as the learning resources that we reviewed today. And yeah, let me just articles. So articles and learning. Those are the 2 commands that you should remember if you want to get those spreadsheets back. I will also likely share them on Twitter. And as always, you can find me when I'm not online. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and whatever. Also on YouTube, I guess. You can also see the VODs there. So without further ado, I will say farewell. See you next time. I hope to see you next on my next stream. I will try to keep up with my schedule more now, since I recovered from COVID and all of that. So I hope to see you next time. And right now, for closing, let's see who will we raid. Oh, cool. Cool. We have our friend Hearsay. Hearsay is playing some Path of Exile. So let's say hello to him and let's see what he's up to.